Cascade Hoops Talk, Billy D. I got Drew Stutts here.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for taking a few minutes. I know that it's really busy for all you coaches once you get back here to Kansas City. You know, you and I have talked, I think a couple times this season, we've talked quite a bit about your team. I really want to focus on here in Kansas City. Well, first, let's talk about you guys getting here.
Yeah.
Who did you play in your regional?
We had Loyola round of
That's
the
right.
first round. You know, they won the Southern States, had them, and then we had Point Park, 30-win team.
Yeah.
Really good team to get here. So two really good teams to get
Yeah, that
here.
was a pretty good pod. But you hosted, right?
We did.
You earned that right. What did it mean to you're Henderson, Tennessee, right? What did it mean to your school and to Henderson to be able to host that first two rounds?
You know, it's the second year in a row we've gotten to do that, and you know, I had a great crowd last year, had a good crowd this year again, and obviously that's such a huge advantage and something that you're working for throughout the year in hopes that you'll be playing those first two games on your home court. You know, it means a lot to us. I think a lot of the community there came out and supported us in the game, and super thankful for that. But definitely plays a part in helping you advance in this tournament.
Yeah. So you get here and you're number one seed in your bracket. Got a little bit of a target on your back yesterday, and you go up against a Masters, really good program,
Really
historic program.
Really good team.
You kind of, I'll let you talk. I don't want to talk for you, but in the first half, it seemed like you guys had them a little bit.
Yeah.
You outmuscled them a little bit in the first half. Just talk about that first half.
Yeah, came out, shot the ball well, which we're capable of doing. Got some guys that can shoot it well, so came out, shot the ball well. Thought defensively it took us a little bit to get settled in, but I mean, like you said, super talented team. You know, 0-0, number 4, both those guys can really play.
Yeah.
And then they surround those guys with 3 guys that can shoot it from deep. They had 22 threes or 23s in the game previous to ours and scored 122 points. So, you know, for us to be able to battle, you know, first half, I think we were up 7-8 at the
7
half.
points, yeah.
And second half, thought foul trouble really hurt us. They got to the line a lot. We had some key players that had to take a seat, but we had some guys that stepped up and played some big minutes for us. And, you know, before we got on air, we said it was an ugly game yesterday, and it was. But, you know, nobody remembers and nobody cares. It's just moving on and finding
Survive in advance.
That's right.
I want to talk about just a little bit more about the first half. I don't want to talk about the second half because it was a really interesting game. I thought in the first half, Peyton Law was unbelievable. He's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
Man, he's a strong dude. He really dominated that first half, didn't he?
He did. I mean, he's just a well-rounded player. There's not any one thing that he does just particularly well other than play extremely hard.
Yeah.
You know, he's 6'7", strong, 215, athlete, can shoot it, can put it on the floor, rebounds, defends every position. He's just a versatile player. You know, him and Hunter Skurlock are kind of the same type player in some ways in that they just have a lot of versatility to their game. They're kind of one of those hybrid players where they really don't have a position, but they're a great basketball player.
Yeah. So you had that lead at halftime. In the second half, I thought Masters came out much more aggressive. And I thought they did a really good job of cutting off. You guys were, I'm not going to say penetrating at will, but you were getting to the rim a lot in the first half. And they did a good job of cutting that off. And they pretty much evened the game up about 10-minute mark.
Right.
And Quan Lax goes out with 4 fouls. Just behind that, Hunter goes out with 4 fouls.
Right.
J.J. Wheat comes in. You're okay. You got another point guard. J.J. Wheat comes in. A minute later, he turns his ankle. Talk about that moment.
Yeah, I mean, I knew JJ would battle through at that point. Just a little tweak of the ankle. We're going to practice here in a few minutes. I expect him to be full go. But, you know, honestly, I know maybe somebody watching the game, they may have had some fears or doubts when that happened. As far as just us having good people on the floor, I really wasn't too concerned. I knew JJ would battle. But with Hunter and Quan, 2 of our key players sitting on the bench, you know, you sub JJ in, you sub Peyton in those guys' spots. Both those guys are sophomores, so valuable minutes for those guys to step in a situation, high pressure, and, you know, hold things down till Quan and Hunter came back in. But you know, we had a bunch of pieces that are interchangeable. So whether it's JJ and Peyton or whether it's Quan and Hunter, I think we got a lot of guys that can play and do different things on the floor.
You did something I wasn't expecting. Maybe you do it a lot is when you brought Quan back in, you played he and JJ for just a few possessions.
Yeah.
Do you do that very often?
We do that. You know, it just kind of depends on the flow of the game and the way the game's going. Obviously, yesterday, kind of a touchy game. A lot of fouls being called. Both those guys got a lot of ability to get to the basket. So, you know, roll with those guys with the foul trouble and get to the line, that sort of thing. But, yeah, I mean, they'll play 6-8 minutes a game on average probably together. Tough combination for two guys for teams to match up with both of them on the floor at the same time.
So I go through stats every night, as you know, and I don't think JJ started all year.
He started a lot early in the season.
Okay.
We were missing Riley and Chase for basically the whole first half.
Oh,
of the season.
okay.
So him and Quan played a lot together first half of the season, had a lot of success. But with Chase and Riley, both those guys stretch the floor and good defenders as well.
But regardless of whether he starts or not, he's always in that top group, top one or two scorers. He's very good player.
He is.
You know, you get down now, it's about 3 minutes to go, and now you have your starters back in, and nobody can score.
Yeah.
I've never seen. I think there was one field goal in that last 3.5 minutes. Hunter Skurlock got to the basket and got a layup.
Yeah.
That was just hand-to-hand combat.
It was. Well, both teams, I mean, both teams, a lot of versatility. Both teams switched everything. So switched all the ball screens, and we're both heavy ball screen teams. And so with us both having versatile defenders, it makes life hard on you as an offensive team. So I thought both teams just battled and competed and made life hard on the other team.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what you want to do at this point. You just want to battle and play your best game. And I don't know that either of us felt like we played our best because we both got a good defensive team, but we were just fortunate just to find a way to come away with the win.
So Hunter Skurlock's a senior. Masters comes down with 12 seconds, 13 seconds to go. They have a chance to win the game. Somehow Hunter Skurlock comes up with the ball. I still haven't figured out how. He chases it down. He gets fouled. Just talk about what he means to your team. He's the textbook glue guy, isn't Hunter?
He absolutely is. Yeah, he's one of those guys. Me and his dad were talking last night in the restaurant. I said, listen, we're going to miss Hunter as much or more than we've missed anybody since I've been here. I mean, he's just one of those guys that, on nights he is going to stuff the stat sheet with steals and blocks and things like that, but he's just such a stable piece to have out there on both sides of the ball. Offensively, just smooth operator, can do quite a few things. Is kind of a point forward for our offense in some ways. And then defensively, I mean, he's one of the best defenders that's here, period. I mean, he can guard 1 through 5 on the floor. I think he had 6 steals yesterday. As a 6'7", 220 forward. Just great hands, great basketball IQ and instinct. But it's his 5th year with me. Super proud of just who he is as a person and what he means to me personally, but to our program as a whole as well.
Yeah, with his body and the way he's built and with his skills, he's. I think you and I talked about it one time on the phone. He's like, I call him like a potato, right? You can put him with everything.
That sounds about right.
And I watched him with I watched the teams as they move around here, and he's got a real leadership quality. So I was real impressed with Hunter Skurlock.
They call him Cap, C-A-P for captain. They just call
there
him
you
Cap
go.
all the time. So he's definitely assumed that role this year. He actually got married this past summer. Basically, the whole team went to his wedding, and he and his wife are expecting now. So he's kind of in that mature phase of his life. But love Hunter and all he means to us.
Okay, we'll stick with Hunter for just one more moment. With 3 seconds on the clock, he missed the first free throw, and I looked at Joe and I said, "Well,
airball's the first free throw."
Yeah, you airballed it, which was the second one of the night.
One of the game, and hasn't airball won the entire year. He's probably high 60s, maybe 70%.
Looking at the scoreboard, Masters has 0 timeouts. I said, I think he'd be better off missing it.
Yeah.
And then he hit the back of the rim, which gave that long rebound. Is that something you coached him on?
No, not at all. I actually asked him, that was a couple tough defensive possessions there in a row. And so I could tell when he went to the line, he was gassed. But like you just said, they didn't have any timeouts left. And so I looked at Hunter. I said, do you want a timeout just to gather himself? Because if he steps to the line, hits both free throws, you're probably going to win the game for sure. But he misses both, and it wound up working out well for us. So however it happens, I'm fine with it.
The light here is going a little bit crazy, and we apologize for it, but we have absolutely no control over it. So now you're off till Saturday, and you're going to play Central Baptist, which has been of a bit of surprise in the turn. They shouldn't be a surprise anymore.
Sure.
I mean, they've been beating some really good teams, very skilled, athletic. They can shoot the heck out of the ball, but mostly they defend.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they're one of the top defensive teams. And it's interesting, we got a lot of teams that are here. I saw a tweet yesterday, I think 7 of the top defensive efficiency teams that are here or that are in the entire NAIA are here in this tournament, round of 16. So, and I don't know if they're one of them, but watching them on film last night and this morning, again, kind of versatile team. Don't really have a true big out there. They just got a lot of pieces that can play and, still learning those guys early. This is early Friday morning, so still learning them, but know they can shoot it. I know they got guys that can put it on the floor. I know they're solid on defense. You can tell yesterday in that Oklahoma Western win, just a scrappy team.
A lot of
play hard and just play together, and that's the formula for a lot of success.
Absolutely, yeah. And nobody. I think one time somebody out of that conference got ranked, so that whole conference flew a little bit under the radar all season. But
we used to be in AMC, so Freed before we made the move to Mid South.
I didn't realize that
we were in AMC, and so obviously that was 5 years ago, but still, they're not too far from us, Central Baptist, and. Hadn't played them in a few years, but I know Sam's done a great job with that team and got a lot to be proud of playing in the Elite Eight this year.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Drew, thanks a lot for giving me a couple of minutes. Enjoy this day off, which you'll be watching a little bit of film, I expect, but hopefully you guys get a chance to decompress a little bit. Good luck. I can't wait for that game tomorrow.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a fun one.
That's Drew Stutts. He's a head men's basketball coach, Freed-Hardeman. Thank you.